Hi, everybody. We are live, and I've got some of my great friends and best real estate agents in their area. Colleen in Buffalo, New York, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm glad you're here. And Amy in St. Louis, love you, Amy.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And Kelly, and I'm sorry that I had put Greensboro, but Winston-Salem,
I'll work
which
both. It's all good.
Yeah, which is awesome. Glad to see you ladies and here to talk about the real estate market and what we're seeing now compared to last year and what the 2023 predictions are. So super excited. So what are you guys seeing now kind of compared to last year, same time? I'll start with you, Colleen. I'm still going a circle.
Okay, perfect. So, Buffalo, New York, we are seasonally always slower this time of year. So, we're seeing that trend continue. Weather also this year has been a little bit more of an impact than past years because we had a lot of snow in parts of the city. So, that slowed things down. So, technically, we are down, I think it's 20. Hold on one second. I've got my numbers here somewhere. We are down 22% from last year for the month of November.
And the number of sales, we're saying, Colleen?
Number of sales, correct. New listings are down 22% over last year, which was already down from, previous years. So that number of new listings is obviously then making less sales overall. But interest rates here aren't impacting as much as other markets because our average sale price is only about 229,000. So you're not financing as much when you buy. So,
Right. Absolutely. What about you, Amy? What are you seeing just in general?
Well, I think that in St. Louis, we are kind of the same as we were last year. I've not seen a ton of change. We are still in a seller's market, although the inventory is still low. The demand is not as high as it was last year, but I don't know that we've changed a ton.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, stability is what
Yeah.
we want, right? Stability
Right.
brings predictability. So that's awesome. What about you, Miss Kelly?
Yeah, a little combination. I think with the season we're currently in, it's a little bit slower than we were probably November, well, earlier in the year. But yes, even a little bit slower this year as opposed to last year. With Colleen, let me find my numbers. I think we are down about 20. Sales are about down 28% year over year, last November to this November. So we're just kind of, some of that is the season and some of that is other factors for sure.
Well, I think it's interesting because I always say this time of year we are dead. I mean, I've been in real estate 15 years, always 2 weeks before Christmas, holidays, pretty much until New Year's Day. If you have somebody looking or selling, they are very aggressively interested in buying or selling. However, this past week, I've had so many people flying in to buy houses. Me personally, but when I looked at the numbers for our area, our sales are down 23% from last year, which is interesting because I'm not seeing that personally, but the data does show our sales are down. Our inventory is actually up 24% from last year, but the sales are down. And then the prices have gone up 18% from last year. So we're still seeing our prices are still going up pretty quickly.
Yeah,
What about you guys?
our prices here, just over the last month, our list price, the median list price was up over 16%.
Wow.
Which was kind of crazy for me to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. What about you? What about you, Colleen? What about your price?
In Buffalo, the median price from last year, November, is up 9%.
Nice.
So we're up. And I agree with you. Like the data is showing one thing. Personally, I'm still busy. I'm getting a lot of calls from people looking to relocate to Buffalo. And a lot of times it's because one spouse is working from home and the other is taking a job here. So now there's that flexibility to move when maybe years before it wasn't there. So Buffalo's kind of being rediscovered. So I am busy, but the stats are showing the market is slowing down compared to last year.
That's what I'm saying too. What about you, Kelly?
Yeah.
And hey, everybody. Hey, all our real estate friends.
It seems very similar. Our median sales price is up 12% over the last year. While, the inventory is what I said, down like 28%. But it certainly doesn't feel that way. Like I'm with you. I'm still getting calls on the regular for new buyers and sellers. And So not exactly experiencing it, but yeah, the data shows
Yeah.
that's what's happening.
That's right. I put a listing in it, and I priced it very aggressively. But it needed a lot of work, and I knew it needed to be a cash offer. But we had 18 offers in 24 hours, had 75 phone calls, 18 offers with 50,000
Wow.
due diligence non-refundable, which, this time of year, it was crazy. I thought it was crazy, but it
That
was
is
fun.
insane.
I was just like, whew, my seller was super excited. But what about the inventory as far as your absorption rate, which is, if everything stops being listed at the rate that it's currently selling, how much inventory do you have? Were you guys able to figure that out?
I
So
think in St. Louis, we have about a month and a half of inventory,
So
maybe
it's
2
still,
months.
so it's still a seller's market.
It is still a seller's market, but I just got my first FHA offer accepted with no issues and was even able to negotiate an inspection notice and ask for repairs.
Wow. That's
So,
good.
I mean, that's good.
That is good. Hey, Elizabeth Baker. I'm glad you could join us tonight. Very good. What about you, Kelly? What are you saying? What is your absorption rate?
Yeah, so our current absorption rates are about a month and a half, but that's up 55% over last November.
Yeah.
But still, that's still so crazy that inventory is still so low, still such a seller's market in that regard for sure. But I've gotten a couple of VA offers and FHA offers accepted in the last handful of months, and being able to negotiate repairs feels a little bit more balanced for my buyers, and it feels nice.
It is nice because I feel like we're able to do our job and to show our significance and how we can really help people either in buying or selling, and people are negotiating now. So it's phenomenal. We have 2 months of inventory, which is up from last year. It's up like 20% from last year, but still, I think anything under 4 to 6 months is still a seller's market. So then what do you think is going to happen in 2023 as far as like the interest rates, as far as home prices and housing inventory? You want to start? Yeah, thank you.
I think inventory is going to pick up a little bit, but I think we need that. So we're only at right now in Buffalo 1.8 months of homes, which again, far away from being a balanced market, with the 4 to 6 months being balanced. I think we're still going to have good sales, but I think it's going to be easier to get a home inspection. In my market, we don't have due diligence money. We only have an escrow deposit, and that's not due until after a home inspection. So it's been very difficult to get a home inspection accepted because there's no skin in the game, so to speak, for the buyer in the process, and they can just walk away, or they're bidding very high and then walking away if they ask for an inspection.
Oh, wow.
So I'm hoping that changes so that buyers, especially the first time buyers, can get an inspection, get that education about what they're buying. I did just have a deal where we were able to negotiate a significant price credit, a little over 3%, on an FHA loan. So that was huge to my buyer to get a repair done, that they can choose the repair person after closing by getting a nice credit. But interest rates, they're going to affect the buying power. But what that's going to do is just stop the over asking from being $20,000 to $50,000 over asking on a $175,000 or $200,000 house. But here, that first time buyer still needs a house. It's still cheaper to buy a house than to rent, and then they can build that equity. So rates will fluctuate, but I think people are starting to become less scared.
Yeah, I would agree with that. What about you, Amy?
I agree with Colleen that people are becoming less scared. And when you think about the group of people that are entering the market, these younger folks, they don't care about the interest rate as much. They've not owned a home before. They care about a whole different slew of things. They don't even plan on being in their jobs for a year to 2 years. So when they think 30 years, I just don't think they look at it that way. They think they're just going to refinance and it's not going to be any big deal. And I think there's a lot of pent up demand as well from these home sellers that kind of wanted to get things moving, but they didn't want to have to compete in this crazy buyer's market when things just everybody forgets about those 2 and 3% rates, and things kind of normalize and we remember what a normal market is, and that 6% isn't that big of a deal for someone to give you money for 30 years, then,
and then if you
we're
look
just going to really start stabilizing into a normal market.
Yeah, I had an investor that now pays cash for everything, but he was talking about when he started buying houses in the 80s. He was like, I never even heard of a 1-digit interest rate. He was like 18% was his first interest, and he was like, to be at 5% or 6% is, if you look at 50 years, I mean, it's pretty low actually.
Right.
Yeah.
But
It's
people
not,
are paying like 30% on their credit cards.
that's exactly
But they're going to be afraid to they're just going
Buy
to
a
sit
home to
in
live in.
homes and rent. I
Yeah.
don't think people really want to do that.
That's right. And then what about you, Kelly?
Yeah.
Predictions.
I think we're going to see, like Colleen said, I think definitely some more inventory coming on the market. I think it's just become a little bit more balanced, bring a little bit, I don't know that is normal even a word we can use in real estate, but
Whatever that means.
it'll definitely be more balanced. I think more inventory coming on, and we'll be able to do some negotiating again. Yeah, Colleen's right. At least for us, at least also won't have to offer, crazy over list price to get your home or waive inspections or anything along those lines. I do see just a little bit more of that coming. I'm not entirely 100% convinced what rates are going to look like, but I agree. Historically, 6% is pretty average. I'm working with a handful of buyers who have bought many times over the years, and they agree, like, yeah, 6%, it's not that bad, guys. It's not that bad. And then when you try and explain to, people, first-time home buyers who are renting, right? Like, well, rent, that's 100%,
That's right.
interest.
Yeah, that's right. There's you're making no equity right there, that 100%.
Yeah.
Rent. That's, I think everything I'm reading, and I've spent a lot of time, especially since we decided to touch on the predictions. I've been trying to read a lot from the National Board of Realtors, from Realtor.com, from Freddie and Franny, and just try to go through all the numbers, and the numbers are all over the place as far as what they're predicting, but it seems to be 6.5% kind of leveling off there for most of next year. Different people have different, but that's sort of my takeaway is I think about 6.5% as far as interest rates. Definitely think inventory is going up. I'm already starting to see it go up, which is good because when you have an influx of buyers and there's nothing to see them or show them is insane. So I think that inventory will go up, and I think prices are projected to still go up.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, if you're going to buy, to me, I wouldn't look at interest rates. I would, and it depends on everybody's personal situation, but if you can, I mean, why not buy now? Because prices are continuing to go up, and you don't have as much competition right now, and you are starting to see more inventory. So you can actually pick out a home that you love, and you can negotiate it, and you can get some repairs done and use a VA loan or FHA loan, which we were not seeing last year, and buy. And then you can refinance it when the interest rates drop.
Because you're right, though, because when rates, though, do start to drop again, then it's going to become more like that buying frenzy that we just got out of, because inventory is still so low that it's just going to kind of recreate. So I think if you can buy now, buy now.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
I think buyers need to be careful about payments. They need to make sure they're buying a house that they're comfortable with the payments at now, and then be happy if the rates go down. They can't buy now with I'm stretching now. If the rates drop, I'll be in a good spot. They need to be
100% agree.
cost conscious, be aware, self-aware, and not overstretch just to get it.
Right. Too many people were stretching when all of these multiple offer situations. They just get in this fear of loss mentality. And I feel like I had to kind of rope people back in and point to that, let me remind you what you said you wanted your payment to be no more than.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, I think that's our job. Our job is to be problem solvers. Our job is to help put people in the best situation and be that devil's advocate. Like you were saying, Amy, wait a second. All of a sudden you're in this bidding war And now you said your monthly payments, you were happy with it being $100 a month. And now we're talking $600 a month.
Yeah.
You know, I think you're 100% right. And I think that means you are a really good agent, which is why I selected you guys to be on the panel.
Yeah, excited to be here.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to have you. So, and then closing arguments. So everybody said interest rates leveling off, inventory going up, and then prices, you think, continuing to go up?
Definitely. Because we're so far away from being a balanced market in terms of the number of homes. I don't think any of us said we have more than a 2-month supply, right? Everyone was less than that. So if 6 months used to be the benchmark for balance, maybe we say 4 to 6 months would be the new norm. We're not even halfway there.
That's right. That's right. So still a seller's market and still a good time potentially to either buy or sell, depending on your personal situation.
That's right.
Definitely.
Well, fabulous. Well, anything in closing?
Merry
I
Christmas.
think Merry Christmas. Yes.
Happy New Year.
Yes, I know. I can't believe it's. Are y'all ready?
Oh my God, no. I haven't
Yeah.
wrapped
Storm coming. I'm not ready yet. I'm hoping nothing happens until I get all the final things I need.
Yeah.
We're expecting some snow.
Oh, yeah, I don't do snow. I was just telling Colleen it's like 50 here today, and I think that's pretty cold.
So I can tell you it snows in Buffalo, but 8 feet did not fall everywhere. I only had a foot at my house before Thanksgiving. So I can recommend as a local expert where to live outside of the snow belt. Reduce your odds of 8 feet of snow.
That's so funny. Well, awesome. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining. And thanks to all of our friends and all the comments. And oh, look, Derek says it's snowing now.
Snowing
You
now.
can have it, Derek. You can have it.
He's an hour from me. He's a different snow belt.
But we'll let him have the snow. Send us pictures, Derek. We would love to see pictures, but that's it. Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies. And it was wonderful seeing y'all, and Merry Christmas. And hopefully you did
too.
ready
Bye.
and just enjoyed the season.
Good to see you, ladies.
Bye.
See you guys soon.
Okay, awesome.
Bye.
Bye, guys.